journalism.
Journalism, thank you. Journalism. Over 20 years that you have been in
I was at public radio for 20
public
and
radio.
4 for the state. No, that's all right.
20, yeah, public radio.
But
And
today I get to teach people how to be safe. And, you know, a lot of it is in your control. So it's good that you're here. You'll hear a few things from last time only because I can't help myself but repeat them. And I am part of a team of 34 consumer protection specialists. 2 of us do the outreach. Jeff and I will each do about 300 talks this year. We're doing a lot, but it's not enough. The other people that are there for you in many ways. On the back of what I gave you, there's a number. It's to our hotline. The people are there Monday through Friday, 7:45 to 4:30. If you've got any questions, there is no question too silly, too stupid, too small. If it's your question, we want to know about it. Consumer protection is all we do. When you call us, you'll speak to a live operator within a minute. They will then hear what your needs or concerns are. We have investigators and mediators who work on your behalf. You pay for us with taxpayer dollars. That's how I'm funded too. My hosts don't pay to have me here. And the people on the hotline will serve you in many ways. I don't know the right phone number to a company. I'm not sure if it's the right website. I think somebody scammed me. What do I do? How do I file a complaint? How do I check with the complaints history of a business before I do business with them? We can help you with all of this. So I teach scams, identity theft, safe online shopping, the most popular. We also, as you saw maybe in the slide up there, motor vehicle repair rights for consumers, home improvement contractor rights for consumers. We teach parents about keeping kids safe online. We do a military program, business scam program. We're busy. So before we get to the safe online shopping, it's a little shorter, so we won't be here for the full hour. But just to remind you, when we're talking about your phone, I don't know where I put it. Could I have actually left it in the car? No, of course not. I have new pants. My wife bought me pants with lots of pockets, and now I never know where their things are. So from the scams presentation, you may remember this. This is not a receiver. You look at it as a window. You only look out when you want, where you want, why you want, with whom you want, and you don't let anyone in just because they knock. So for you, whoever you are, and you all could be you, each one of you, it's already happened today. I was told how convincing the one, it doesn't make a difference. How convincing. Or last night, the person wanted to know how the scammers do what they do. I don't teach that. And I'm not a felon. I don't know that. It's irrelevant. We're not here to talk about them. We're here to talk about you. Control the flow of your communication every minute of every day. It's like when you were young, you were taught, look left, look right, cross the corner, go with the light. Oh, wait a minute, today I'm not going to do that. I'll just cross the street. You'd never do that. We still always look left and right. This is a window to look out of because you can't possibly know who it is when they call, text, and email you. If you didn't expect it, you don't have to engage. If you didn't hear the last program on this, or you want to again hear it, I'll do it for you. It's a whole hour, but short and sweet. Nobody gets scammed without taking part willingly. You may not know you're in the scam, but you agreed to text, hit the reply, talk to the stranger. You wouldn't let somebody knock on your door at 8 in the morning or 8 in the evening to come in and sell you siding. Why in the world would you answer the phone at the same time, 8 a.m. or 8 p.m., not expecting a call, letting a stranger in your house? It's a marvelous tool. You use it that way. No one's told me they have a vacuum cleaner that rings, and when it rings, you furiously vacuum. And nobody's got a hammer that buzzes, and when it does, you hit everything in sight. And for those of you who say this is an annoying piece of machinery, all the calls, do you know you can turn it off? Do you leave anything on all the time? The mixer, the oven, the car, the phone. Oh yeah, the phone. Turn it off. Treat it as a tool. Right now, we are slaves to it. It is not a receiver. 4 questions you always want to ask when people want information from you. Who's asking? Do I have to give the information? What if I don't? Why are they asking? Who is asking? Why do I have to? And what if I don't? I don't care. It's a phone call, if it's a sheet that they faxed you. I finally, it's been a little while, got my appointment to the dentist. Within 7 seconds of hanging up, she texted me. I told her I didn't want to be contacted by phone. She texted me and said, there's 7 documents that need my attention. And I texted her, I'll take care of this when I see you. Then she wrote back, oh, it's really only 1 document. I wrote back, okay. I assume it's my dentist. I don't know. I didn't ask for it nor expect it. I wouldn't begin to fill it out. And I want to give my digital footprint a shrinking lesson. So if they tell you you have to fill it out before, no, you don't. You have to get there a little earlier. Okay. 8 or 7 documents became 1. That's fishy. I think it's my dentist. I don't have the time to call them. I'm just ignoring it. I got other things to do. But I didn't click on it. The first answer, I responded because I believe she just talked to me. But then the response is, oh, there's just 1. Wait a minute. 7, now there's 1. You're dying for me to click. That could be a scam. Or, truth be told, it's just the 1. And she's honest. It's irrelevant. I don't know. So I don't click. I could call her. I don't have time. I didn't bother. I can go see her. Don't have time. I didn't bother. It isn't urgent. It can wait. If I delete it and I go there, and she goes, why didn't you respond? I said, well, because I tell her what I do, and I explain that there's no way I'm going to do anything online. That's me. There are people who do everything online. They're fine. You have to have a practice you're committed to. Not my practice. What works for you? The identity theft talk I give, the 1 lesson in it, and it's page 2 in the booklet if you have it from last time, or you can go to our website, look up Freeze Your Credit. We have a digital footprint and computers all over the place. It's the way life is. We don't control that. But we do control the ability to freeze your credit with 3 credit bureaus, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. There's no cost. Somebody told me he was paying for it. He paid for a service. You can freeze your credit for free. That's why we push it. It didn't used to be free. It is now. When you freeze your credit, here's what you're not doing. You're not impacting your mortgage or any outstanding loans, and you're not hurting your credit rating. What you are doing is you're putting a wall up. If someone has all your information and they go online to get a loan in your name, the person who's considering the loan, and this happens all the time, legitimately, but they're going to check your credit, and you lock your credit because Ben told you to. And I, the scammer, when they come back to me, pretending to be you, say, you just need to unlock your credit. We think everything's a go, but of course, you got to do a credit check. Well, there are security questions there and information only you should know. And that will stop them. They look for the lowest hanging fruit. If you have your credit locked, they're going to find somebody else because most people don't do this. When you freeze your credit, if you want to get a loan, you can unfreeze it in 2 seconds. Very easy. You go online and hit a button. You can even, next to the button, check the calendar so it'll go back frozen when you want. You don't have to go back and do it a second time. It's very easy. On our website, if you type it in, there's not only the sheet about it, there's websites and phone numbers. I tell people to do this for everyone in your family, no matter how young. You have a social security number, you do it. And no matter how old. Most of us at a certain age are not getting a lot of loans anymore. And if you do need a loan, you turn it off for an hour or a day. And if you leave it frozen, when you pass, anything you have that's going other places will go there because of other things, wills and such, and inheritances. Freezing your credit does not affect that. So those are the 2 mini talks, because there's nothing more important than staying safe. And the main message, most optimistic message I have is nobody has to be a victim of scam. It's all in your hands. Don't guess. Don't guess the link is safe. If you didn't ask for it, you don't know. Don't guess it's really your son in trouble or grandson. Hang up on him. Call him right back. If he's really in trouble, you don't mind 5 seconds. Most of the time, that's a fake call. And boys, it can kill you. Deeper you stay. We don't want you to do that. I believe the glass isn't half full, folks. I'm an optimist. I think it's 100%, 99% full. The 1% gets a lot of attention, but it's, boy, the world's so much more good than bad. We just don't hear it on the nightly news or our common talk. I could fill the sanctuary for hours or days or weeks with blessings, nothing but. But that's not what we hear every day. I'm not here to tell you you're going to get scammed or have your identity stolen or can get in trouble shopping, say, online. But I'm here to tell you that all these things are possible. So there's education, right? I don't think somebody is going to scam you, but I know anybody in this room could be a scam victim. I also know we can control that. I don't think our identities will get stolen. Our identities could. When I was a student 40 years ago in Madison, my school ID was my social security number. Sounds ridiculous now, but nobody was stealing our identities then. So now we have the opportunity to shop or visit this amazing piece of technology, more power than the Apollo 10, right? The technological power in my hand is greater than the rocket that went to the moon. And yet, some of us don't know how to use it all. That's okay. Some of us are at its beck and call. That isn't. We can control that. And you need to go buy boots, go to a store in Waukesha or Pewaukee, but you can shop in Oakland, California, or you can shop in Paris, France, or Tokyo. You can shop, you can talk to people with this. You can promote your writings, your songs, your wisdoms, your political thoughts. You can do whatever you want on this. It is a wonderful tool. Use it as a tool. So how do you use it to be safe shopping online? So one thing we know is from the Federal Trade Commission, complaints about online shopping are pretty high. It's new. People aren't as used to it. That's part of the reason. There are a lot of skimmers. We think there's $1 trillion a year in scams globally. We didn't plan on that. But I balance that statement with the fact that the amount of healthy global activity is in the multiple trillions. There's far more good than bad. I'm here to talk about the bad because I don't want it to happen to you, not because I think it's going to happen to you. So how do you know what's safe? Well, it's not about the machine any more than it is the scammer who approaches you. It is about you. How do you use your phone or your tablet or your laptop? Right? Are you going on websites you don't know? Are you accepting calls from people you don't know? Are you only going to websites you know and calling people whose numbers you've confirmed? How you behave is it's all about your consuming with intention. People want to know what antivirus or malware protection should I get? And antivirus or malware, that's insurance. And we have all had car, life, and auto insurance in different, we probably all have different policies now. Why? Because insurance is risk management. How much risk can you tolerate? How much risk management can you afford? How much do you need? Well, in this case, that's the question. Don't ask Ben what Ben has. I often get asked. Are you using your laptop to run a small business? Or you just have a phone that you only call friends and family on? Where's your risk? How do you assess your risk? Call the company. You have a laptop, they have customer service. You have a phone, customer service, you pay for it. Or go to a computer store and talk to an expert. Ask them about the risks you take given the use you have. And then ask, what should I get? The best action you can take is to freeze your credit because that is a block before it can happen. So many of these are, when they say they offer you credit monitoring, ooh, there's a problem. You don't want to hear that. You want to freeze your credit so they never call you because it can't be a problem. Your devices have software programs. Like any other technology over time, we hopefully are improving it. They've changed it. They fixed it. So you'll get contacted to update to the latest, I think it's iOS 26 I put on my phone the other day. But I don't put it on until I call the company and make sure this, in fact, is an email from my company. Because the logo, the font, the letterhead, whether they text you or email you, whatever they do to contact you, you don't know. I don't want you to guess. There's no reason for it. I call consuming with intention. You don't guess. You take the extra time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour to contact the people you know at the right number. And if you don't know how to do it, you contact us. Consuming with intention in our elder years is going to put more time up front. But boy, oh boy, if it saves you the amount of time on the back end, if you could ever fix it. Even if you get your money back, people tell me when they get scammed, what they take in addition to the money is a piece of us. That doesn't come back too easy. If it happens to you, you're not a victim of stupid. You're a victim of some very smart thieves. But it doesn't have to happen because you're paying attention today and each and every communication going forward. You can schedule calls. That's how you trust caller ID. And you don't talk to strangers asking you for information any more than you would in a park bench. If I sat down with you with a cup of tea and we're just talking about the gorgeous weather and you're having a donut and we chat a little bit, and you say, oh, you retired from this industry. And I say, yeah, I still work a little bit. And then I turn and say, by the way, can I ask you for the last 4 digits of your social security number? We laugh here. But it's that innocuous, the phone call, the text, the email. We've got to look at it the same way as the person next to you on the bench. Limited trust at first. We've always been that way. Online, no different. And then the last thing here, and this has always been the case, you don't email sensitive information. Oh, email me your credit card, we'll put it in the computer. No, that's not good. I don't want to do that. Consuming means you have a say. So if they say, well, you have to give us all this information, it's our corporate policy, your response can be, I have a different corporate policy. I'm not the CEO and I don't want to give away information that's going to hurt the company. So no, I don't have to fill that sheet out. And when you get the sheet with the asterisk, so you have to submit it, you don't. You can contact the company. It may take a little time, but you contact the company and say, listen, you're asking for certain information, but it's not necessary for you to have it for us to do business. Or if you have to have it, I'm not doing business with you. But you need to send me that sheet again without the asterisks. I'll give you what I'm willing to give you. Let's say it's something you only do business online with a company, and yet they ask in that form for your address. Why do they need to know where you live? Reducing your digital footprint means not sharing information that isn't necessary for the others to have. That's determined not by them, by you. So how do you get online? And then how do you know if being online is safe? Well, Wi-Fi is sort of like the easiest on-ramp to the internet. And we can get there through, church may have it, libraries will have it, coffee shops. But public Wi-Fi is public. So think about when you were young, if you're on a train or a bus and somebody was reading a newspaper and someone would be reading the back page of it. And then when they go to turn the page, sometimes they say, hey, wait a minute, I wasn't done reading the back page of your paper. But a public Wi-Fi, you can read the back page, the front page. Don't ask me how, I'm not a thief. But if it's public, they can look at it. So if you're on your phone in the Starbucks or the public library, you may not want to check your IRS statement or your medical history. You may want to just check your email and the sports. Now, the next level of safety is 5G, I think. Now you pay for it. You have a username and a password. We recommend it. It's pretty safe. You want to have it in your house. You want to have it in your phone. So when you travel. And I learned about this when I started working for the state. There's something called a virtual private network. So 5G is some security. A virtual private network is better security. I have to use it because I work for the state. I assume you pay for it, but you have to check that out. But it gives you a lot more security. And God forbid I ever went online without it and somebody cracked into the state system. I would not have a job. Because we need to keep ourselves safe. The corporate world, for sure, but personally. And a VPN is not just for businesses or state employees. You can have it. Don't ask me how to get it. Ask the company who you have a contract with. So your computer company or your phone company. So shopping. Some of the age-old questions. You want to buy something today or you just want to shop today? Big difference. You want to buy boots today? And are you going to Google red boots? Or are you going to go and Google boot stores near me? Or type in Kohl's department store boots. How you set your parameters dictates how wide or narrow a net you cast. You probably don't need to cast a real wide net if you want red rain boots. And if you saw an advertisement, remember two things. Advertisements are not there to inform you. They're there to sell you, which means the information you get may not be complete for you to make the decision you need to make. So you need to confirm whatever the ad tells you and then do the extra consumer intention look at whatever this is to make sure it really works for you. But first, you got to make sure if it says 33% off up to 10 per customer, that may sound really good to you. And you have to click there right now. And maybe you can only have 15 minutes. There's a clock and it's counting down. It's deciding, oh my God, 15 minutes, I better do this. No, you better run. But what you can do is call the company and find out if the ad you saw is real. But Ben, that could take me an hour. Yes, it could. Or if you call us, maybe get your phone number, take you 10 minutes. But let's say it takes an hour. If you don't, and then you engage by clicking, you may have months of repair work for your identity and to regain your money if you can get it back. It's far better to do this. And if you heard me before, I liken this to managing risk. When you get in your car, you wear a seatbelt, but not because you plan to get in an accident. You wear a seatbelt because it could happen, not because you think it's going to. And for most of us, it won't. Maybe it never has, but you still wear the seatbelt. How do you wear seatbelts online when you're shopping across the world? There are things you can do. Are you on a search engine or on the retailer's website, right? If you're on Kohl's.com, all right, you know the product, you know the store. If you go to Google for boots, you're going to get stores that are real, that are fake, that you may not know. That you need to investigate. You can do this safely, but caution. Teaching elders to slow down is easy. When I do this for high schoolers, tell them to slow down. I tell business managers, you train your employees to work slower, not faster. Because if they work as fast as you want, they're going to do all sorts of things on their computer fast. And that's going to get you into trouble. And how did you get to a certain website? If you clicked a link you didn't ask for, you cannot know it's safe. Now, maybe it is, but I don't want you guessing, ever. This is the one clear, black and white. You never click on a link you didn't expect unless you verify it independently. And that's not asking your friend to look at it with you. I've looked at so many of these in this job, I can't begin to tell you if that's real or not. You can't know either. You don't have to. You get a link, you didn't ask for it, you delete it. If it's real and important, they'll get back to you. The scammers want the easy prey, the lowest hanging fruit. So the first one who clicks says, I'm here. The first one who talks on the phone says, I'm here. I could be taken. You wouldn't knowingly let a felon in your house or sit down on a park bench next to a known criminal. Why would you talk to somebody on the phone who could be that? You wouldn't. So when you look at the website, the web address, it'll say www.kohls.com, right? Now we just say Kohls.com. We used to say worldwideweb.kohls.com. That was kind of wordy. And no one really looked to the left, but it says HTTPS, stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol, how all that information moves. And then S, it means it's an encrypted site. It's a little more safe. It's secure is what the S actually stands for. Unfortunately, this is the only upside down slide I ever talk about. If you happen to be looking and you do not see the S, it's not encrypted. It is not safe. But unfortunately, kids can encrypt, right? It's not real hard. So just because you see the S doesn't mean it's safe. But if you don't see an S, that's easy. Get away. If you're on the website, just delete it. And if you're not sure if it's a safe website, again, you don't guess. You can Google or Yahoo. Does anyone know about bensboots.com? If I'm a scammer, they're going to tell you. If you don't want to do that, and not necessarily it's something you want to do because you put yourself out there, call the number I gave you on the sheet and ask us, because in part, that's our job. We can help you figure out what's safe and what isn't. Social media, be very limiting and where you click on social media. Every click is a footprint, a digital footprint. And they have cookies, they call them. I call them barnacles. Basically, they follow you around based on where you click. So you can click on shoes for 2 days, you're going to get ads for shoes for 2 years because you left a digital footprint. The analytics are a little out of control. Anything that pops up, you delete. I don't want you to guess, oh, that looks real. Oh, that says Kohl's.com. I don't care what it says. It popped up. You didn't ask for it or expect it. Get rid of it. If it pops up and says you have a virus, you have to call this number. If you don't delete what's on your screen, close the screen and go to a computer store and let them fix it with you. If it shows up unexpectedly, I don't want you to find any reason for gray here. Links you didn't ask for, pop-ups you didn't expect, never. Shopping overseas, well, if you're shopping in Waukesha, you want to know if it's okay to return something and what are the rules. Buying boots, can you wear them outside? Well, how am I going to know if they keep my feet dry if I don't take them out in the rain? Well, you do that, you can't return them. Okay, I know the rules. But if you're not buying from Waukesha, you found some awesome boots in Munich. Well, you want to find out if the sizes in Munich are the same as the sizes here. You want to make sure the description of the product makes sense to you because not everybody who's writing on the other side of the world speaks English as their first language. You want to make sure that the delivery dates make sense to you because if you're in a hurry, usually you can't count on something coming across the ocean these days as fast as it used to. And then online, you can buy. These are 2 years old. If you want to buy my shoes off my feet, $500, I'll leave without shoes today. I'll be glad to do it. You'll be buying some old shoes. It's not really worth $500. You're buying them as is. I'm a private seller. That's how it works. I'm not selling them. I wouldn't expect you to buy them. But if you are looking for the same pair of Rockport shoes that are on my feet and you go to Kohl's.com or Rockport.com, now you're buying from a business. They will have more obligations to you. You'll have more support with a big business. That's why we do business with business, right? This is what they do. Sometimes, let's say you're buying it on Amazon or eBay or Facebook Marketplace. Those are malls. And sometimes the malls offer you support as buyers. Just like if you went to, say, Southridge Mall in Milwaukee. I think it's still there. And one of the stores didn't treat you well. Your first step could be to go to the manager of the mall because these businesses work under the umbrella of a company that gives you access to them. When you're looking about returning, you want to know about a couple of things. There's surcharges, restocking fees. Because if you return something you paid for $100, but you only get $90 back, it's not a real return. It's a discounted return. And all you did was return it because you didn't like it when you got it. So why would you have to pay for that? Well, because you agreed to when you bought it, or you checked out. That's part of the deal. I'm not buying from you. Or I'll buy from you, but I live on the other side of the world. If I return it, I want 100% back. If all I did was look at it, I don't like it. And if they say, I can't do that for you. So, well, we can't do business. Consume with intention here. Shipping. Has anyone ever been told that it's free shipping? Yes? Ask the driver of the Amazon truck, the person who flies the FedEx planes. Ask them if shipping is free. No, it's never free. So if it's included in the price, you still want to know what it costs. Why? Because if you return the product overseas, you may be paying the shipping. And it may be $200 or $300, and you're like, whoa, that's almost what I just paid for this really nice whatever. You want to know ahead of time. And you can. That's consuming with intention. How should you pay? One thing I can tell you, seeing all these, you don't have to. You only have to pay with one item. Maybe it's your debit card. Maybe it's your credit card. Do you need PayPal or Venmo or Apple Pay? No. These are options. There's a gazillion credit cards. How many of us have more than a couple? You don't have to use all the vehicles. And if you've never done it, I would tell you, pay with something you're comfortable with. Find out what the protections are from your credit and debit card companies. They're different. But you pay with one item you're comfortable with, that you've probably done it before. If you've never bought anything online, it's a delicious experience. You should try it. You don't have to get everything there, but if you don't ever go online, you're kind of depriving yourself of something that's a mainstay of society today. But you still don't have to go buy everything online. But if you do, start small. And if you do it regularly, you already know the practices. Make sure you know the website is correct. If you don't know it's correct, you contact us. If people contact you from companies that you've done business with online and you didn't expect the contact, don't think, oh, well, I did business with them. This is real. Go, wait a minute. I don't know who this is. Now you can decide how to figure that out. Buyer protection. If you have a credit card, does the bank offer you protection? If you have Venmo, do they offer protection? Everybody's going to be different. If you want to know, you have to contact each of these vehicles and the others, ask the same questions, take notes. Consuming with intention. You're shopping. A little harder than looking at 3 pairs of jeans and trying them on, but more important. And then here's my favorite thing to talk about. They have something now called virtual card numbers. So let's say you're going to buy something at a store in LA and you don't want to give that store your credit card number. I don't blame you. Well, what could you do? Well, call your bank card, your card, whatever issues it, and ask them about virtual card numbers. Some have one-time use numbers. I love that. So you'll buy for that product in LA and you can't use the number again. When you use it, the one and only time it'll work, whatever you charge will be charged to the credit card that it connected to. The store clerk in LA now cannot use that card number, right? Maybe it's people taking advantage of the fact we're on the other side of the world. They're selling them. They're worthless. There are other virtual card numbers, I'm told, that are repeat use. If either are of interest to you, contact who has your card and ask them about this. I don't know if it is this charge. I don't know if you can use one-time virtual use numbers once a day, once a week, once a year. But I know it's a great option. And I know a lot of people, when I talk to these groups, say, what? I never heard of that. Well, again, we're improving the seatbelt every day. This is a great, great option. Packages today, more stolen off our porches than ever before. And ironically, we now have more cameras on those porches recording the thievery than we've ever had. It's not stopping them. And even if it does, somebody was there, you had to take the video, work with the police. It's far better that if you're not home and you know packages are coming, don't have them sent to home or have somebody get them for you. If you are at home and you're expecting a package, check your door a couple times a day, get you up, and they don't ring the doorbell anymore. They do put the package down and take a picture for their boss. And somebody must have said along the way, it may have started with COVID, but how many times a day does each person do that? How many times a day does every employee delivering packages all over the world do this? We can save, I don't know, 365,000 trillion seconds. So now they don't ring your doorbell, which means for us, packages can sit longer. You say, oh, the doorbell rang. Oh, that must mean that package is here. Well, they're not doing it. Well, they don't always do it. So what do? Well, check, because they'll take stuff. And let's say you're going to be gone for a week. If you cannot have the packages delivered, then great. But maybe you can't help it. So maybe you have them delivered to the church or the police station or the library or a friend's house. You just don't want it sitting on the porch for a couple days. When we were kids, that was all right. Not anymore. Any information coming to you, and if you've got packages in the mix, this could be shipping information. If you didn't ask for it, you can't respond to it. You can go investigate it by contacting the shipper independent. But you don't know if it's FedEx. You don't know. The one here doesn't say who it is. Urgent notification regarding your package delivery. Click here. And then what, they put a stop sign on it. They didn't say, Dear Ben. They didn't say sincerely act I don't know who that is. All I see is urgent, and they want us to feel urgent because they said that. It isn't. On the bottom, Sherry, we found a package from July owed to you. Kindly assume ownership and confirm for delivery here. First of all, it's designed to make Sherry go a little crazy. It's been a couple months. If you didn't have it for a couple months, Sherry, you didn't need it. And read the language. Who talks this way? Owed to you. Kindly assume ownership. Confirm for delivery. Oh, that's a bad AI or somebody on the other side of the world or someone who just got a D in English here in Middleton, Wisconsin, but that's weird. That's not normal. It's enough to make you question it. Maybe it's somebody's a bad English student. Okay. But you don't respond to this until you know for sure. So why doesn't the government do something? We like to ask that question when we find problems in society. But we have to find the problems in society before the government will write laws to try to fix them. When people were buying and selling online, one of the reasons those cutting edgers were doing it is because you didn't pay sales tax. You owed it, but they couldn't collect it. Now you can. Doing business online often feels completely anonymous, which is not safe for us. But it's not completely anonymous, and you should have the right to know who you do business with. So that's what the Informed Consumer Act is all about. It's transparency. If you have business on a website, Facebook, Amazon, wherever, and you do more than $20,000 a year, so very, very small business all the way up, now the law says you've got to make sure the site you're doing your business on, Amazon, eBay, whatever, has your contact information, your financial bank information, because the sales tax has to get covered. And more importantly, the online marketplaces, to us, have to give us the seller's name, address, way to contact them. So they're not anonymous. It's a different way of doing business, but the anonymity, so they can hide behind the fact you can't find them if you don't like the product or it broke or it's cheap or they overcharged you. None of that's acceptable. And we don't give up our consumer rights if we buy online. But how we consume changes. Our rights don't. Now, let's say something goes to heck in a handbasket. It happens. I tell people, you may be 99% into that scam and you realize this is a scam. Something ticks you out and you hang out, you're done. Whew. You ever step almost off the curb and a car's rushing by and you step back? It's the same thing. You didn't get hit, and here you didn't get hurt. But if you do, then what do? You may need the police. If it involves your health, you may need the hospital. But let's say it's Monday through Friday when our office is open, 7:45 to 4:30. Right now, you don't need the police. You just need some consumer support. You call us. We'll walk you through what happened. And you're going to be upset if you got scammed. We'll slowly go through, find out what happened, and then we'll slowly explain to you what we think you should do. You're not alone here. It's tough in a big world with lots of issues and challenges. We often can feel like there is no help. As consumers in Wisconsin, we all support through taxpayer dollar a group of 34 of us. All we do is help protect consumers. Every one of you has the right to contact us whenever you need. 800 number, the website, it's on the sheet. I have business cards if anyone wants those. I'm always looking for more audience. So if you're part of other groups that have speakers, there's no charge. They can contact me and we can schedule. I'm scheduling into, I think, next September already. So we've got some space. Those are all the things we do. And once again, great room, awesome attendance and interest. I thank you. If you've got questions, I'm happy to try to answer them. Anybody? Sir? So the question has to do with the home title threat. A lot of this is urban legend. Here's what I will tell you. They're not, you don't go out to Denny's for dinner and come home and find someone in your house. The scammers with access to your financial information and your title and your credit because you didn't lock it can then go try to get a home equity line because it's easy to find out if your home's got value in it. What do we do about that? If you own your home outright, the title is held by your Register of Deeds, and you want to contact the Register of Deeds and ask them, what are you doing to protect the safety of my title? And what should I do? And if your title is held by a mortgage lender of some sort, ask them how they're protecting your title and what you should do. If you want title insurance, just like ID theft insurance or antivirus insurance, then you have to investigate what your risks are and how much you're willing to pay to manage the risk, and do you really need it? That comes from experts, not your son-in-law, not me, not the guy you had lunch with the other day. You contact your insurance agent or your technology company, the experts who know about what you're doing, the risks involved, the protections involved. But that home title, boy, that's a doozy, as my grandma would say. And if you own a home, say 6 hours north of here, you want to make sure someone's checking it regularly. Yeah, you can have squatters there, but the home title theft is about online home equity for the most part, thievery. If you freeze your credit, whoever would be willing to offer this person impersonating you a loan has to check your credit. They can't give a loan and tell the boss or the board or whoever, oh yeah, I didn't bother checking his credit. Credit is your badge of honor as a consumer. If you have a credit rating of 800, you're a good risk. And maybe 70% of your home's paid off. Man, I love you. I'll loan you money all day long. But if your credit rating is 200 and you have 5% equity in your home, I'd lose my job if I gave you that loan. Freezing your credit means the scammer can't get access to the good credit risk or anybody's. So yeah, that's why you do it. Yes, ma'am. Sorry? Is your credit frozen? Once you freeze it, it's till you die. You only can unfreeze it. You unfreeze it by going online, answering the security questions, personal details, which you should never have put out on the internet, and you get access to Experian, Equifax, or TransUnion, and you can turn, there's a button. So let's say you have your credit frozen, and you're going to buy a car from Joe's Buick, so you have to go online. Now, first you want to ask Joe, are you checking all three? One or two? By the way, when you freeze your credit, you can't do one, you have to do all three. They don't do it for you. So let's say Joe's Buick says, I don't know. So you unfreeze all of them. Then you ask, when are you going to check? Oh, sometime next week. And you say, that's not how I work. I need you to tell me the afternoon. I'll unfreeze my credit for 4 hours. Okay, well, I'll put it on my calendar. I'll do it for you tomorrow. Okay, noon to 4. And you go online and you turn it off. You unfreeze. And then the calendar next to it asks, do you want to refreeze it? And you say yes that day, 4 hours later. So you don't have to go back to do that. And when you die, it doesn't affect whatever you leave behind. And there's no reason, especially as we age, anymore as for babies and young kids with Social Security numbers. Once they've got that, you freeze the credit. Because the scammers want birthdays, names, Social Security numbers. That's a really good start. And a kid who's 6 won't be looking for a loan for a while. You freeze the credit. There's no downside. There's no cost. And if you're not sure how to do it, you can call us. Or go to our website, look up credit freeze, and there's the sheet. And the sheet has the phone numbers that you'll need to call them. I don't know how long it will take, but who cares? There's no better insurance for you online to protect your identity from theft than this. It won't keep the rest of your identity from getting stolen. But if the primary reason to steal it is to steal money from you, you've just blocked that. Don't wait till it happens to you. I had a coworker, well, I've been telling you, after it happens, you want to freeze your credit. I said, no, you do this now. You don't buy a lock for the front door in the house after they break in. No, you do it now. Anyone else? Yes.
Are identity theft insurance protections worth it?
Right. Good question. What did I tell you about 10 minutes ago? How do I know? You call the experts, right? You can call Consumer Reports. You can call your insurance agent. I really would do that. You can then call the different companies. LifeLock, Norton, Acme, they're different. You have to ask the same set of questions of everyone. What do you cover? What don't you cover? What does it cost? How often would there be price increases? How often would I hear from you? How will I hear from you? What will you do for me if there's a problem? You have a lot of work to do if you're shopping, and not just one company. You want to compare them. It's not all the same. But your question, and I smile, and I love in every elder audience, I always look at the eyes, because I always see your 6-year-old face, because the eyes don't change. And our 6-year-old, what's the best thing? How can I always be safe, right? Is it worth it? I can't tell your 6-year-old it's all going to be okay. I wish I could. It's worth investigating. It's worth managing the risk. First, you assess your risk. If you're running a sweater sale shop, resale shop on your computer, that's different than if you're just reading the news. Now, you may want some basic coverage anyway, but do you really need it? I can't answer that. But neither should your son-in-law or your friend at the senior center. You call the experts. You have contracts with them. All right, lunch almost up. Last question. Individually, if you want to ask me something, I won't run away.
I don't know if you can answer this or not.
I don't know.
If you have property and you own it, and you have a deed, or you have a title, is the title better than the deed? Is the deed better than the title? Must you have both?
You're right. I couldn't begin to tell you. But who could? You're a register of deeds. You're a mortgage holder. Any number of people are expert in real estate and land management. I'm not that guy. So I'm not going to give you an answer. The answer is you have to do some more homework. Consuming with intention means not just asking someone of authority about something that isn't in their authority. It's making sure you ask someone of authority in the area with which you need them to have authority. I don't sell the products that you may or may not get. I don't deal in title and deed management. I deal in consumer awareness and consumer education. I hope you're a lot more aware today, because these questions you're asking are great. Now ask them of the right people to get the right information, and know when you go to bed at night, you're practicing the best consumerism you can in a day and age where you have to look left and right and cross at the corner and go with the light. It doesn't always guarantee you'll be okay, but it sure is much better than just closing your eyes and going forward. We don't do that. Again, my heartfelt thanks. It's great to be able to come talk to you. Willing to come back anytime. I hope you enjoy what is maybe the most fantastic fall that I can remember easily a decade up here. So have a good time this afternoon. Go play. Or if you want to hear the same exact talk, I'm doing the same thing 6 minutes from here at Oak Hills Terrace. So if you got in late, and anyone want a business card, I'm happy to share a couple of those.